We all rely on smartphone, on laptop, on electric cars for many aspects of our life. You ever wonder what actually makes these devices possible? Do you know? Do you have any idea about that? And the answer is earth mineral. And I'll talk to you about that because I know many of us don't properly understand what they're all about. So good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Tony Teo. I'm the founder of Renewables in Africa, and our job is to make sure that we demystify the renewable energy sector for you. So whatever you're asking you as a questions, we are able to demystify that, yeah, and we're here. And I just want to make sure that everything gets clear for you. So if you are a businessman, yeah, if you are an investor, more precisely, you probably have a few questions that you have in your mind here to make sure that you get the answer to your question. Make sure that you watch and you have it. If you're listening, you say, I want to decarbonize my business, I don't know how to. Don't worry. By watching one of our videos, there are many by now, you should be able to find the information looking for. You are a professional. You say, I want to embark into the journey. Don't need date more than 10 years ago, but I need some crucial information to know how I can figure my way out. Same thing. In this video, you'll find exactly what you are looking for. Is it correct? Excellent. There's actually three things that I like to do. The first is actually, first of all, to like this video. And I want to tell you that we are actually broadcasting from 5 platforms. So we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, and we have obviously LinkedIn. Yeah. We want you to connect to all of that. So make sure that you do it. Ideally, you want to connect to all of them if that is possible, and that'd be great. But if only one is possible for you, that's okay. Just make sure that wherever possible, you sign up to the notification button so that when there is a video like today, you are able to watch it. Yeah, there's a job here. So the second thing I want you to be doing, leave a comment, leave a question. If you have a question just right now, because we live, you can ask it and I make sure that I respond to that. But if you come afterward, because you see the recording of the live, you can see ask your question and make sure that one of my team will pick it up and will for you. Is it correct? That is fine. It's for you to share this video. Why would you share it? Simply because there's many people that want to have this kind of information, but they don't know how to access it. So by doing it, you are definitely helping them to get information very crucial for you. Is it okay? Excellent. Now let's move into our conversation. That's fine. That'd be great. But before we go into that, first of all, want to kind of give you a little background as to why I decided to run this video, where the idea is coming from. In fact, I was reading an article recently. I think it was a couple of days ago. It was about a company, a Swedish company called LKAB. Maybe you've seen that. Let me just show the article. So that's the article was on CNN, and obviously it's quite clear from the title. It says that Sweden find the largest rare earth deposit in Europe. It could cut the dependence on China, right? And because they were very excited, because obviously I know about rare earth minerals, but they would know that, but they were actually very excited. Why were they excited? Because you need to know that Europe has no deposit. Before that, they didn't have any deposit at all. Any supply of rare earth, it's from China. Not any. Most of the supply come from China. And in fact, 60% of the supply globally will come from China, basically. That's for other places. So clearly for them, cutting up the dependence, it's important, and obviously this deposit can help that. Why? We also see that what happened in terms of the energy, right, for gas, right? So clearly Europe want to learn the lesson here, which is a bad thing to do, say. Yeah, and that is where the idea of running this video came from me. And I thought, hey, let me do that because I know it will be interesting, important for many people. And I'm not a lot of them actually realize what rare earth mineral is. Yeah. So that's then the questions. What are rare earth minerals? So that's a question you probably asking yourself, right? If that's the case, don't hesitate to drop a comment, to drop your question, and I respond to it. But suffice for me to say that those rare earth material, right? So they are a group of 17 chemically similar elements that are found on the Earth crust, right? And in those minerals, you will find mineral like dysprosium, so neodymium or cerium, yeah, and they are used in a wide variety on high tech products. And you probably know, especially with the event of ChatGPT and all those AI software, phone, that high tech product, that's clearly what it's already even done the world these days, right? Because you will need a number of semiconductors, and for you to be able to manufacture those products, you need rare earth minerals. So as a result, it is very, very, very important. Now you're going from the smartphone, from the laptop. I'm talking to your laptop today, to wind turbine, electric cars. You have those rare earth minerals. But despite the importance, as I say, not many people know about it. I don't know. So is it your case, or maybe you were fortunate enough to have some knowledge about it? Just let me know. So I'll be curious to find. But I know a lot of people will not know about those rare earth rare earth material, right? And it's important for us to combat. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Let me just show you here. So a quick picture of one of the mine operations. Yeah. So let me just show here. Is it? Just want to make sure it's okay. Yeah, that's it. If I show that, that's a picture of just mining operations. It could be anything, but in this kind of let me say arrangement where you have people that are mining, because I say those rare earth material are coming from the crust of the earth. Yeah. So that is the kind of highly energy intensive operation that happened to remove it. You understand that why obviously now the energy carbon of that energy budget that come out of that footprint, it's very important as a conversation. Yeah. So this is something that we want to know. Now, so one thing that we also need to understand is that those minerals are used in high-tech product device that I say, yeah, and I've already mentioned about that. But they are also okay. Before going further, let me just first of all explain a little bit. So why? What are they used for? Because I think it's fine for me to be saying that, okay, yes, we use them for smartphone, for laptop, for electric cars, and so on and so forth. I don't tell you, if I'm correct, what exactly are they used for. So let me give you the information what they are used for. At least a couple of examples you could see. So you have, for example, material that's called neodymium, right? So those are and they are used in the production electric motors that you can find in electric vehicle. And as you know, the electric vehicle production are sort of a skyrocketing. You can imagine how many electric motors we actually need and how neodymium magnets we would need. Yeah. So you obviously can do the look at the relationship here. You also cerium oxide, that is you polish the screen of smartphone and tablet. Yeah. Again, another big joke because look at the number of tablet people have these days. Yeah. And if you want to clean those smartphones, those tablets, you will need that. So yes, you again can see the correlation here. Let me just show you as well a couple of other pictures that are evocative. So that's an assembly line where such material will be processed and take further. And I also want to show you this one, wind turbine. Everybody are aware what wind turbine is. I don't need to go back there. Just wanted to say as well that for you as well to realize uh, rare earth are also critical component in the wind turbine, yeah, and which are becoming an increasing source of renewables energy. And the rare earth they use in the production still again for magnets for the generators in the wind turbine. You could see definitely how important it is in the renewables energy. And but despite their importance, the mining and the processing of rare earth, because you can see is very much energy intensive, can have environmental and social impact. Yeah. So this is something I'm sure again, so you're not surprised to hear me saying. So it's very much energy intensive. So if you're looking at how we're processing those operations, how can we decarbonize that? So that's something that is very important. Yeah. So because you have factors like the pollutions, but also the displacement local community because yeah. So a number of those rare earth material will also be found in developing countries. Okay, I mentioned China, but China is not only it's not the only one. Even in China, right? You want to look at what are the conditions of the workers that are actually mining, yeah, taking from the ground, from the earth, those materials, those minerals. How, in what conditions are they doing it? Are they working? Very important. If you go into the continent of Africa, same thing. We know, for example, cobalt, big chunk of it, if not the large majority, just like earth material, yeah, for China, cobalt come from GRC. A lot of people be complaining about what doing that, how are they being protected? Yeah. So those are questions that we want to be looking at. And that is why it is important to develop a more sustainable way, a responsible way to extract and to use this mineral. And this will recycling, use devices, yeah, to reduce the need for new mining if it's not necessary, and use it as well cleaner and alternative sources of the technology for mining, responsible for sourcing the minerals. So it's very, very important. Like I say, I mentioned the importance of those rare earth materials, but looking at where they're coming from and who is actually working to extract them from the ground and then to process them so that we can use that, we can enjoy, we can talk to one another to the phone like that. It has to be properly done, and it is clearly something of importance, right? So, what I wanted to say is, yeah, because I think I've shown as well. So, a picture of electric vehicles. Yeah. So let me just show that here. So yeah, thing like no, that's the smartphone, but I can go one slide before. We have a smartphone. Sorry, yeah, smartphone. Talked about that. Yeah. So we're talking about the electric vehicles, like I say here, where you have the electric motors, you have the rare earth materials. So for device like that, yeah, you will need rare earth material. So what does it mean to you? It means that the next time you pick up your phone or you hop into your electric car and electric car, you want to know the hidden role of the rare earth material in making those devices possible, right? So it is your duty as well to see what you can do to make sure that the extraction and use of those material and also the manufacturing of those high-tech devices are sustainable and responsible. And as I mentioned, so the use of those rare material is going to grow. And as it grow, it means that there's going to be obviously huge opportunities for a number of companies, a number of people living in those areas, but also involved into the supply chain. And if you are part of those supply chain, my question is always the same to you. Do you happen to have a specific role that could be interesting? Yeah. So what is that you're doing? And more than that, how do people get to know about what you are doing? Yeah. And you come back to what I usually always say: if people don't know you, they don't follow you. It is important for you to make sure that you are visible. If you are part of this industry, if you want to communicate about that, if you're part of a supply chain, you want people, you gotta be visible. So we need to be able to come and see you. If that's the case, definitely I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you, and I believe you will want to talk to me. So definitely make sure that you reach out. Yeah, you drop your names, or send me a message, and we can talk that further. But in between, I believe that I've given you a broad understanding what are rare earth minerals, why they are important in your high tech devices. I know everybody's going very techy. Yeah, remember how those devices are actually being made. Rare earth minerals, you can't get away from them, but we all have responsibility because we are users of those devices. Because of devices, how are they being processed? Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to look at, from the environmental perspective, but also understanding strategically how important they are. Yeah, and if you happen to be a company operating into the sector, and you want to take advantage to communicate about these topics, make sure that you are visible. Why? When you are visible, then people know they exist, and if they know that you exist, they're more likely, some of them, to want to do business with you. Yeah, and that's the case. If you want to get the visibility, make sure that you do reach out to us, because we want to talk to you. Yeah, that's all I had to cover for today. I don't see any question in the chat, so I believe that everything is clear enough for you. So and as usual, it's always a pleasure for me to be talking to you, and I'm looking forward to speak to you at another time. It's okay. Excellent, guys. So you have a great time, and then may the sun be with you. Take care, guys. Bye bye.